Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of our Learn How to Crochet series, and in today's tutorial we are going to be making these beautiful double crochet stitches. This one I've already made this swatch. I'm going to teach you the technique that I use to avoid big bumps and gaps on the side, as sometimes you'll see. So let's get started. I've already made my slip knot and I've made 12 chains, I believe, and if you don't know how to do this, I will link the video in the description below for part 1 where it goes over all those steps and details. So basically, to create the double crochet, I'm going to skip, so we're going to be making them into our foundation chain, and I'm going to skip the first and second chain, and we are going to hook into the third one. Now in some patterns you might see to skip the first 3 and whatnot, and you can follow that, but for my tension I find skipping 2 works just great and it avoids those big gaps and bumps on the side of my swatch. So we're skipping 1, 2 and placing it into that third loop. First we yarn over, skip those 2, go into the third. We're going to yarn over and pull it through. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now we have 2 on our hook, yarn over and through those last 2. And that has created our first double crochet. So let's do that again, nice and slow. We're going to yarn over, go into the very next chain. So we're going to go in, we're going to scoop up that yarn over till we have 3 loops, yarn over once more, we're going to go through 2, yarn over and 2 again. Okay, so yarn over into the next chain, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over through 2 and then 2. So you can see by now where we have created 1, 2, 3, and that turning chain will count as the 4th. So I'm just going to keep going until I reach the end, and then I'll show you how to finish the chain and make our turning chain as well. So now I've reached the end and I just have one more to do. So you just want to make sure that you always get that very last chain. It can be quite easy to miss, but just look to see that it's looping over that last stitch that we did. So we'll go and find that last one, yarn over, oops. Okay, so now let's just take a second. So if I pull these apart, you can see the gaps in between each of them. And now let's count our stitches. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And this one right back here will count as 11. Now I just wanted to make a note that as you're just starting out with these stitches, it's really important that you count your stitches at the end of each row, because when doing the double crochet, it's really easy to miss one of these last chains here that we're going to stitch into, one of the last stitches we're going to stitch into at the end of each row. So it's very easy to miss it and end up with your work tapering in, because you're going down by a stitch every single row. So I'll teach you once we reach the end over here how to avoid that as well. So now we're done that first row, we are going to go into our second row. And how we do that, and again, you want to be very careful and read the pattern that you're working with, because this can be done multiple ways, but for myself, this is the way that works for me. And yeah, it avoids those bulges at the side and those little gaps as well. So we're going to chain 1, chain 2, turn our work, and now if you pull it, you can see the gaps right there and right there all throughout that we're going to be working into. And if you look from the top, it's these V's right here. So for this one, we're going to make sure that our hook goes through both of those loops for each. So you can see this chain's coming out of that very first one that's right next to the hook. We're skipping that every row. So we're working into the next one right there. So we're going to yarn over, hook through. You can see it there. I have both loops on my hook. We're going to yarn over, pull it through, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2 more. Okay, and we're just going to continue on until we reach the end, and then I will teach you how to spot that last stitch. Okay, so we're reaching the end, and as you can see, if you look, it appears that we've done all of the stitches through each of the previous row. But if you count, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So to avoid missing this last one, because we're counting that turning chain as our first stitch of the row, I'm going to go over here, and you can see it right there. And to keep these edges, so as you do this pattern, usually you can get really big gaps here and they bulge out at the side. So what I do to avoid that is I find that last chain, so this one right here, and I'm going to hook into that back stitch. So I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to go into the back one. I'm going to yarn over, so that kind of, if you can see, it will close up that side so we don't have any bulges sticking out here. Okay, and then that's all there is to it. So we will chain 2, once more turn our work, find that next stitch that's not right next to our hook, and continue on.